The key takeaway is to keep doing proper SEO, go into detail with your product pages, with your category pages. SEO is definitely not dead. It's changing. It has changed so much in the last couple of years. And there's so much diversity nowadays. So many more playing fields where SEO can be played. Just keep doing what you have been doing so far, and you'll be good. You'll rank good in traditional search in Google, Bing, Yahoo, and you'll rank better in ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, or whichever you use. I'm Tin Đudajek, and this is SEO in 2026.
Tin, what's your number one SEO tip for 2026?
Hello, David. First of all, my number one SEO tip is don't get lost in AEO or GEO and keep doing proper SEO.
Okay, so don't get lost in answer engine optimization, generative engine optimization, and keep on doing proper SEO. So what do you mean by getting lost in it? But obviously, answer engine optimization is focusing on answering common questions, long tail type queries that can appear in AI as well. Isn't that good for SEO? Isn't that proper SEO?
Yeah, it's good for SEO, but what I'm aiming at is that there currently, at least so far, there exists nothing that would prove us that optimizing solely for GEO, for generative AI, is something different than proper SEO, or like the real SEO. So what I'm trying to say is just keep doing SEO as you did so far, and you will be featured in ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, and everything else.
Okay, so there's nothing special, there's nothing different that we have to do in order to actually get to maximize the optimization.
Yeah, as far as I've seen, there's nothing you can do so far, as I'm saying, to rank better in generative AI.
So why is this that you feel like this? Is this really because you feel genuinely that you don't have to do anything different, or is it actually because you feel that AI isn't primarily for search and AI isn't having as big an impact as many people say?
It's a bit of both, actually. Yeah, there has been many news recently. OpenAI, for instance, said that they will not focus anymore on trying to be a search engine because that's not why they exist. ChatGPT and other generative AI will never try to be search engine. They will likely pull their results from Google and everything else. And outside from that, generative AI is still hallucinating quite a bit, and it's not really as reliable as real search engines, let's say.
Okay, real search engines, or maybe more traditional search engines, because Google is changing as well, isn't it? Because Google have launched AI mode, and is that not going to become the default mode, and are people not going to be getting AI results from them as well?
Yeah, we're gonna see. For instance, in Croatia, where I'm from, we still do not have AI mode. We're probably gonna get it by the end of the year, but we'll see where Google goes from there. I can't say anything more for now.
Okay. So I guess that's perhaps in some countries, but obviously in countries like the US and certainly the UK and other countries, AI mode is often the primary way that people conduct a search. From what you've seen, do you have to optimize differently to appear in the AI version of Google, in the AI mode of Google, as opposed to the more traditional version of it?
No, I have seen no difference, as I said. Doing SEO as you did it a year ago, 2 years ago, will produce the same results for SEO in 2026. Yeah.
So if, as you've said, OpenAI have no intention of replicating what Google have done in the past or provide much of a search engine, what would you say is AI's primary function?
I think AI's primary function is actually to elevate human experience, let's say it like that. For instance, AI can solve so many complicated tasks so much quicker than we can. So it's really a tool It's designed to be a tool to help us, to help elevate our experience, to help us become better, faster, more productive, and whatnot. Its primary function is not being a search engine.
Got you. Okay. But of course, it may be providing the functionality of a search engine, but not using the interface of a traditional search engine. Obviously, as you're chatting to it, it's coming up with data, and perhaps it's carrying out searches or deciding upon web pages to analyze in the background and then coming up with an answer there as well. So would you not say it's just a different type of search engine, maybe?
Yeah, maybe it's a different type of search engine, but what we're discussing here is if you could do anything to be ranked better at those results. And as far as I've seen, you cannot do anything actively to be there ranked better in AI. It's definitely a different kind of search. And yeah, we will maybe in the future have to do something differently, but so far I haven't seen anything you could do, actually.
Okay, so you say that optimizing for AI always comes down to doing basic SEO, and that hasn't changed for the last couple of years. So, what are the key elements of basic SEO that you've been doing for the last 2 years that will give you a good chance of getting featured within an AI search engine?
I believe that what me and my colleagues in my agency have started to do differently throughout the years is that we have focused more on products. If we are talking about e-commerce on or web shops, yeah. If we go really into detail about products, there's so much more of a chance that you'll be featured on AI results, let's call them like that. So really go in depth with your categories, with your products, and that's something you should really maybe start doing differently a bit.
Okay, so if you're talking about going in depth into products, what does that mean in practice? Are you talking about, for instance, if you're an e-commerce website, to be really doing a different job with optimizing each product page?
It's not doing a different job. It's same job as it always was, but doing it more thoroughly, going in depth with providing much more details about the product and really describing every part of the product, because search is getting conversational, just like you said. So people will ask really, really specific questions about certain type of products, and you need to provide AI with that information. And maybe on traditional search, you didn't have to. So yeah, by doing proper SEO, as I said it, you could maybe get away with not providing as many details about the product, but in AI generation and in the era of conversational search, you really will have to do the legwork and put in so much more and give so much more information to AI in order to maybe rank better.
And one challenge in the age of AI is the fact that you can use AI in the generation of content on your own website. And if you're doing that, then it gets harder to differentiate what you do and the content that is on your website compared with perhaps hundreds of other competitors out there. So what would your advice be on the use of AI in the production of content for these key product pages that you're talking about?
Personally, I really dislike using AI to generate content. I always feel like if content is written by a human, it has a different feel to it. And it has a different feel that I really like better. That's the whole gist of it. So yeah, AI is really great. It could do so much more, so much quicker. But you shouldn't overuse it, let's say it like that. Be genuine, be real. Don't just do everything with AI and do something by yourself. And people will definitely feel it, and people will definitely like it better.
Now, you also say that doing proper SEO means optimizing for AI agents as well. So what is that about? What AI agents should we be optimizing for, and how do we go about doing that?
I mean, as I said, you cannot, in my opinion at least, optimize for AI agents just for them and not doing real SEO as we were doing it so far. Yeah, you could really do everything you have been doing so far and maybe do a little extra with your categories, with your product details, and everything else. As far as I've seen, backlinks and domain rating and domain authority are getting even more relevant. So yeah, maybe even focus on those parts of SEO as well.
You say that backlinks are getting more relevant. How about citations, unlinked citations? Is that getting more relevant as well?
Yeah, it hasn't been as much relevant so far as I feel, but I believe OpenAI CEO or somebody discovered that unmentioned citations are getting much more relevant to rank better. So yeah, of course.
Okay, and does this mean then that mentions in AI search engines could actually be fueling potentially positive rankings in traditional search engines? Because obviously traditional search engines will be aware of the content or some of the content that AI search engines put out as well.
Yeah, but getting citations is still doing proper SEO as you were doing it so far. So maybe AI agents do tend to favor unlinked citations better than Google, but it's not that it's just a tactic that will promote ranking better in AI agents.
Now, what about measuring SEO success nowadays? Because obviously with results in AI search engines, it means that content can be consumed elsewhere and there may be less visits coming to your website, maybe less click-throughs, maybe less traffic on your website. So has that not changed the way that you measure success?
Yeah, because impressions have risen and clicks have gone down. That's what we are experiencing at the moment. There should be another way of measuring SEO success. And so far, I really don't have an opinion what that should be. Is getting more impressions better? Or is it just about getting clicks? Maybe getting impressions nowadays is more important than getting clicks. I'm on the same ship as Rand Fishkin, who said that maybe just getting impression is a new way, is new getting clicks. So yeah, maybe that impressions you get from AI agents and from Google is worth so much more in developing a good, stable brand.
And what do your clients think of this?
They don't like it, of course.
No? Okay, so but do they still want to carry on doing SEO if they're measuring impressions over visits?
It's really interesting, interesting times, let's say. Yeah, they generally don't like it because they are losing clicks. But as I'm saying, search is going like it's getting diversified. So there's traditional search, there's so much AI agents, and there's so much more playing fields where SEO can be played. The rules are still the same. That's my tip. That's what I think. Yeah, in short, but there's so much more playing fields, and we should really think about how we measure SEO success nowadays. It's gonna be so much different.
Tin, what's the key takeaway from the tip you shared today?
The key takeaway is to keep doing proper SEO, go into detail with your product pages, with your category pages. SEO is definitely not dead. It's changing. It has changed so much in the last couple of years. And there's so much diversity nowadays. So many more playing fields where SEO can be played. Just keep doing what you have been doing so far, and you'll be good. You'll rank good in traditional search, in Google, Bing, Yahoo, and you'll rank better in ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, or whichever you use.
Tin Đudajek is co-founder of the Canonical SEO agency. Find out more over at canonical.hr. Tin, thanks so much for being part of SEO in 2026.
No problem. Thank you for having me, David.
I've been your host, David Bain. Get your copy of SEO in 2026, the book, over at SEOin2026.com.